Yeah, it's time.
Oh, we all knew this was coming. I can feel your hype through the screen now that I'm going to talk about everyone's favorite custom Counter-Strike mod, the iconic Zombie Mode. A game mode so popular, it has spawned various spin-off versions and even separate games. To this day, it has a die-hard community who I bet some never even played anything else in CS besides this mod, which says a lot. Now, let's all go down memory lane and explore its history and legacy. So what is Zombie Mode? I'm sure you'll already know, but let's do a quick overview for the uninitiated. It's a custom game mode that features its own subset of custom game modes. Well, technically it's a mod used as a plugin for servers. In the traditional sense, the way it works is Ts and CTs cannot shoot each other. The maps are dark, made specifically for this mod, which we will get to later. Everyone picks their weapons of choice, then once the round starts, somebody gets infected and the fight is on. Zombies have up to thousands of HP and different abilities depending on their class, and the humans have their own wits plus shops, which also provides them with more efficient means of defense rather than just holding M1. Zombies also have their own shops, but one important thing about these shops is they use ammo packs which are earned by dealing damage and scoring kills. Eliminating either team or running down the timer are the only winning conditions. The other zombie modes can work differently, but we will also get to those later. Just like any other video, like the big nerd I am, we will cover the trivia. So where did it all start? Like any other CS mod, we have to go to alliedmods.net. On June 9th, 2008, the first public release of Zombie Plague version 3.55 was released on the forums by Merciless. But Zombie Plague wasn't the first exactly. It may be the most popular, but there are other related mods that are older, such as the first version of Biohazard, which came out the same year. Going back further, we have Zombie Swarm in 2006. Lastly, this one is probably the oldest on the forum. In the readme file for Zombie Plague, Merciless states he liked the zombie infection idea, but the existing mods were buggy and simple, so with little experience he started his own project, and as development progressed, it turned out to be more than just a simple plugin. Version 5 was the last version in 2012, and there was only a small patch to it in 2014. Besides that, Merciless has only made a few other smaller plugins, most recently some API-related stuff in 2014, and from there, it appears this user has moved on with their life, having no other known active social media presence. Also, the same probably applies to the other modders. Going beyond CS 1.6, I was looking for the first zombie mod for CS Source since it makes sense it would exist, and on moddb.com there's this one called Zombie Horde, with its first version being from 2005. Here, the zombies were bots versus human players. It was popular and had a dedicated website to go along. Later, we have Zombie Mod, with its first version being in 2006. Uploaded by Coldfire, this mod is more akin to Zombie Plague, with players being infected, as evident by the description. But as development progressed, this became the most popular one for CSS. It also had an entire website dedicated to it with a small team of people. The founder of this project being Spinner, Coldfire as a sole developer, and a few other people. ModDB even had an article interviewing them. It's an interesting read, a glimpse of what it was like and the modder's ambition. The final version of this mod was in 2010, with the dedicated website also later going down. The modders here also seem to have moved on in life. Some modders have tried to create different gimmicks, of which there are only two notable ones. Base Builder was made by Tyrant in 2010. Humans have a few minutes to build their hiding spot from various props using a bind to move them around. Then the zombie players are released, and it's like regular zombie mode. Making a base with no entrance or exit is against the rules. This one was really fun. I played it a lot with a friend, but over time it fell out of favor and is completely dead these days, unfortunately. Zombie Escape, on the other hand, is still quite relevant. Created by Diaz for 1.6 in 2012, this mod was then quickly ported to CSS plus CSGO, and this is important to mention since due to the engines being more capable, this is where it flourished and still continues to do so today. I can understand why. It involves a bit more team play from each side and escape isn't guaranteed. The maps are quite elaborate, with traps and timing being important, making it less monotonous than the usual just hide in a corner and hold M1. I get the appeal, but it didn't quite click with me. Honestly, if we dig deeper to find the first ever zombie mod, there could be plugins for Half-Life out there that predate everything in CS, but none of it even matters. It's not like Humans vs. Zombies is a completely original concept. It does exist in various pop culture outside of gaming, but these two mods in particular were probably the biggest contributions, and the CS community has morphed and evolved them over time into many different custom versions specific to their servers. So it doesn't really matter who is the first one that came up with it. I believe we must simply thank the modding community for providing the CS player base with so many new ways to play our favorite FPS, along with all the memories we have created. Now let's quickly go over maps. The prefix here is ZM and ZE for escape. ZM maps are either a classic map edited to have hiding spots and tunnels, or new maps which also feature hiding spots or hard to get to places. Most notable examples are ZM Dust World, ZM Ice Attack 3, and ZM Toxic House 2. As for escape, they have a beginning and an end point, along with teleports and doors that might require time to open. As for notable examples, look, I'm not proficient in this mod, so I could be wrong, but for 1.6, I believe the Jurassic Park series of maps are the most popular, and for CS Source, anything Lord of the Rings related. There are tons of them. Okay, I was kinda thinking of covering gameplay aspects such as items, shops, classes, and game modes, but it would be kinda difficult considering every server's customizations and too much of an info dump, so let's go over the most interesting aspects. So a must-have for every server are the basic nades: a napalm nade, a freeze nade for a quick getaway, and a flare for visibility, despite most servers not having fog enabled. Classic and essential shop items are the antidote to reverse the infection, and even better is the infection grenade to remove those pesky hiding rats. Survivor and Nemesis game modes are always great to have. One player becomes the Nemesis with an insane amount of HP and must kill everyone, or one player becomes the Survivor with a big weapon and must kill all the zombies. Anything else custom or additional never really felt right. I know each server is trying to have their own brand, but quantity ain't quality. In my own experience, I used to play this mod a whole heck of a lot. It was genuinely scary when the maps were completely dark, only flares and flashlights, and the multiple game modes really helped to diversify gameplay. Playing on regular maps never really fit quite well, but ZM maps were always a perfect fit. The more claustrophobic, the better. These days, zombie mode seems imbalanced. I feel like playing as a zombie in most servers isn't that fun. Having to crawl your way in a tunnel while getting filled with lead, die and go do it again, or you will be kicked, isn't that fun. There's the impossible to catch players with jetpacks floating around like mosquitoes. Other items like OP laser mines, insane weapons, and even nukes don't really help either. It shouldn't be balanced. In fact, I always thought human surviving should be a hard achievement, because you don't want the infection to spread, so why not play as a team? Sadly, it has devolved to a dopamine farm holding M1 and seeing big numbers on screen. Again, not all servers, but not uncommon. Zombie Escape, I never really got into it. I guess I missed the vibe. But I do recognize it's a lot deeper in terms of gameplay and teamplay. Feels like it was the superior game mode for a while. So after all this sweet talk, you might be inspired to go back and relive your memories, or are curious to experience for yourself. Can you do that today? What is the state of CS Zombie Mode servers in this day and age anyway? In 1.6, there are quite a few servers with people in them, though pay to win. Escape servers are also present if you fancy that. But classic old Zombie Plague 5.0 no strings attached servers are non-existent, last one shut down in 2014. Overall, 1.6 Zombie Mode, despite being in a state of decline, seems quite stubborn. CS Source Zombie Mod? Oh man, it's on life support. I barely managed to find a dozen servers with people in them that aren't bots. Zombie Escape, on the other hand, although with one foot in the grave, does seem to have a small active community surrounding it, but good luck figuring out what the hell is going on. All good things must come to an end, and it's a reality we have to accept. Now I know what you're thinking. What about CSGO? I checked. It has its niche, I guess. Don't think that will change with CS2 though. You see, since the initial rise in popularity of zombie mods, the gaming industry has grown. Many other zombie-related games have come out. At some point, a mod in a game seems quite limiting and even outdated. It's why spin-offs like CS Nixon and CS Online aren't really that much relevant. I don't want to end things on a sour note, but we can always appreciate and cherish the fun we had. Zombie Mode is arguably the greatest and most impactful mod in Counter-Strike's history. It truly has left quite the legacy behind. Even if the last remaining server shuts down one day, just like a zombie, it will not die and will continue living on in our hearts. Okay, this metaphor may not exactly work. A zombie living in your heart? Ugh, couldn't have written it worse. Look, I just wanted to be poetic for once. Artistic expression has no bounds, even in text. The rules of society shall not stop.